Right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you today. The first thing I want to talk about is, oh boy, what did Coinbase do now? So, in all seriousness, Coinbase has gone through numerous unfortunate incidents as of the past, let's say, year and a half, particularly since the release of Bitcoin Cash. And at that time, there was allegations of insider trading because the price of Bitcoin Cash went through the roof, and then Coinbase listed it, and that's sort of been the MO for quite a while now. That coins are going through the roof, then Coinbase lists them instead of the usual opposite way around, that when a exchange lists a coin, then it sort of starts pumping because it's in a new market, it's in the hands of new people, and they want to buy into it when it's low, etc. So it's pretty clear, or at least I don't know, somewhat mysterious, that Coinbase typically will list these new coins just like after a 10 or 15% or 20% pump, which is somewhat unusual. And that sort of relays to me that somebody in Coinbase, or a lot of people, knew about this before they actually listed it, i.e. insider trading. And some other issues of Coinbase was that everybody was saying that, they don't have enough coins. For a while, they only had Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and then it was Bitcoin Cash. And so that was a problem. So in order to talk about why this new market structure update is bad, I kind of want to talk about the good things of Coinbase. So just before that, we had the neutrino, which was a bad thing. And so they've gone through a series of unfortunate moves that is sort of the decline of Coinbase, and the Neutrino acquisition, basically hiring a bunch of hackers that were did notoriously bad things in countries and things like that to spy on their citizens, and then they hire them, which marked the delete Coinbase movement. So now let's get to the good things. So I've always believed in Coinbase. I've always used Coinbase for day trading Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, that sort of thing. They're just plain and simple, for a lot of people that can use Coinbase, easily one of the best exchanges in the world. Now, their volume and liquidity isn't necessarily the highest like Binance or something like that, but one thing that's really good is for the people that can use Coinbase, like North America, I think some of Europe, some of like the UK, etc., and a lot of places in the world you just can't use Coinbase, is the fiat on-ramping. So you can put fiat on it for free with an ACH bank transfer that takes 6 or 7 days, but not a big deal. It's totally free. Then you buy your crypto, you trade, you add crypto to Coinbase, whatever, and then you can off-ramp to fiat as well, which is really great. So with another free ACH transfer. Another amazing thing about Coinbase that no other exchange that I know of had was free limit orders. And that was basically unbeatable. So you could just trade all day long if you wanted to, even with just some small micro trades. If Bitcoin goes up $50, boom, just set a limit order, and then it sells. It goes down $50, sells, and maybe you're only making a few bucks at a time, 10, $20 at a time, depending on how much Bitcoin you have. If you have whole Bitcoins, then you're making even more. But again, there's just no fees that are racking up over time like any other exchange. Another thing, of course, is that they have US dollar pairing, so that you could trade in US dollar or euro or wherever, whatever you have, which is, I think, a little bit easier than trading in Satoshi, just so that you get this value. You get a straight up, it's $100 now, it's $100 to $10 like Litecoin or something like that. And you can feel those movements a little bit better, I feel, with fiat. And they've been going downhill ever since, and this is a major issue here. And it seems like they are just absolutely desperate to destroy their own exchange. They just want it sousy. They just absolutely. They probably just had a CEO meeting and said, "How can we destroy our company? How can we destroy our company? Let's hire Neutrino. Let's do insider trading, and let's destroy all of our everything that made us good in the first place." Now, I'm not talking about Coinbase itself. I'm talking about Coinbase Pro, or you might have known it before as GDAX, because Coinbase, when you buy and sell crypto on there, there's these egregious fees, and nobody should ever do that. In fact, some of my very first videos on crypto were how to go onto Coinbase, make an account, and do it all for free. Just go to GDAX, use a bank transfer, use limit trades, and then bank transfer out when you're all said and done, or whenever you want to cash out, all for free. You didn't pay a dime to do that, other than, well, for the crypto itself. And now that's pretty much all gone. So Coinbase Pro will implement a set of changes to further optimize the market health of our platform. And these changes are designed to increase liquidity and enable better price discovery for trades and to make price movements smoother. This will lead to a more efficient market and increased trading opportunities for all of our customers. Yeah, except for the ones that aren't going to be trading anymore, because now your fees are on par with Kraken and Binance and stuff, so there's basically no reason to use it. If Binance has way more coins than you and way more liquidity and volume than you, then nobody's going to use Coinbase anymore. There's basically no reason to use Coinbase Pro anymore unless you're just totally used to it. I'll probably end up still using it, unfortunately, but just because it's my favorite, and Binance is my second favorite for sure, but either way, a lot of customers are going to leave because of this. So goodbye liquidity, basically, because everybody's going to take their crypto off here now. So new fee structure that is designed to increase liquidity, updated order maximums, new order increment, and turning off stop market orders. All of this is just not good for the average trader, adding market order protection points. So the new fee now mind you, this is Coinbase Pro, because I never ever told anyone to use Coinbase to actually buy and sell crypto, because that is just massive fee when selling, massive fee when buying, massive fee when selling. Don't use Coinbase. Use Coinbase Pro, right? Free bank transfer, free limit trades, but now that's out the window. So as you can see here, the maker of liquidity used to have zero fee with limit orders, and that was a maker of liquidity, and it used to be just be flat out zero. Now essentially, if you're trading less than $100,000, you get punished. And for those that are trading upwards of $1 billion, I don't know who actually has $1 billion that's buying crypto on Coinbase, but fair enough, you now pay nothing. So starting at 50 to 100 million, you pay nothing, and takers actually, I think, make a little less now if you're a taker. So that it does encourage more market orders, because with the free limit orders on Coinbase, there was not much of a reason to use a market order, except when the market was going way up and you wanted to jump in, or way down and you wanted to get out. You can't really do that with a limit order, because if it's going down in price, you have to put the price above where it is currently at. And if it's going down, you can see the problem there. Your price is up here and it would have to go back up. And if it's going up in price, you have to put the limit order below the current market price. So therefore it would have to go dip back down. But in a time when it's just shooting up and everybody's buying in, you sort of have to use a stop order, or rather a market order. So another thing that they did is they took away market order, or a stop market order. So Coinbase Pro and Prime will no longer support stop market orders. All stop orders must now be submitted as limit orders and include a limit price. So if you have ever used Coinbase Pro, there is a stop order which will just automatically sell. If, let's say, Bitcoin's at 5,000 and that night it goes to 4,900 and you have it set to 4,900, it will automatically market sell for you, so you don't lose any more. Maybe it went all the way down to 4,500 and you sold at 4,900, that sort of thing. Well, with a limit order, you could have put, the limit at like the stop at like $4,950, and then the actual limit at 4,900. So it will try to sell somewhere between 4,950 and 4,900. If it gets to 4,900, it will just automatically limit sell. Boom, it's done. And so now that's gone, and most people don't really use that. They would just prefer to use the stop order itself, so you could just establish a specific price that you want to market order on. The problem with that I see, just playing devil's advocate here, is that everybody's putting stop market orders, as the price is going down, that's going to jump it down even more, because as it's going down, now people's orders are just automatically flying and selling off, and it will go even faster and faster. But a lot of people liked the stop orders, and those are just gone now. Another thing that's totally gone is the free limit orders, which was just one of the main selling points that I taught everybody on my channel, that I told everybody, hey, you got to use Coinbase Pro if you can, because you can't beat free limit orders. You just can't do it. And now I guess you can, because they have a fee on them now. And of course, Coinbase, one of the major problems with Coinbase is it didn't have a lot of coins. If you had some other coin, you would have to go to Binance, Poloniex, any other exchange, because Coinbase just didn't list it. And what I find interesting, too, is that now that Coinbase is listing more and more coins, people are angry at them for listing these coins. which didn't make any sense because a year ago people were complaining that Coinbase didn't have enough coins, and now that they're listing more coins, people are ragging on them for listing new coins. That's a double-edged sword there, kind of a catch-22. I don't know what happened there. But either way, not good. Just plain not good. The other thing, the other tick sizes, stuff like that, not incredibly important. But the two main things now, the stop limit order, or the stop order is just a stop order, not the stop limit order, is gone. Now you have to put the limit in there as well. So now it will sell in this ambiguous margin, depending on how long you make that margin. And the other thing is the limit orders, because that was just great. Because if you had some Bitcoin, you could just trade all day, and you wouldn't have to worry about the fees. If you made a little small jump, those fees would eat you up, because if you're just trading, $20-$30 difference in Bitcoin and just trying to catch all those little intraday ups and downs, you would get destroyed in fees on any other exchange unless you're trading a lot. And that was the good thing about Coinbase. So goodbye, small users, and the fact that there probably aren't that many $300 million transactions on Coinbase all the time just means that nobody's going to be able to take advantage of these new fees anyway. So, Coinbase, what are you guys doing? Anyway, moving on. Bitcoin industry reacts as Mark Karpelès avoids jail over the Mt. Gox debacle. Now, there's a great documentary. I mentioned it a few videos back that there's a great documentary on the Mt. Gox incident. It's a 2-hour-long, full-length documentary. Goes from the start to the end. Interviews with Mark Karpelès and everything. What exactly happened? It's amazing. I urge you guys to watch it. I can't remember what it is even called now, but YouTube and search engines are your friend, so I'm sure you guys can handle that. So as multiple sources, including Bloomberg, reported March 14th, Mark Karpelès, who has been under suspicion for embezzling millions in user funds, is guilty only of record tampering in the eyes of Japanese law. And actually, they interviewed this guy in the documentary as well. The Mt. Gox Where's Our Money guy. And it turns out that Mark Karpelès, at least according to the documentary, I sort of believe him that he didn't take the money, but rather when he bought Mt. Gox, there was an 80,000 Bitcoin missing within a couple weeks of buying Mt. Gox from the original owner. So that was a problem. So he had to do all these different things and make these bots in order to try and collect that 80,000 Bitcoin back for the users, and it didn't go so well. He didn't tell anybody that he was missing 80,000. He didn't tell anybody that he was running these bots on that were buying like 20 Bitcoin every 15 minutes or so, and didn't really tell anybody about that. And another thing too is that it was pretty clear that the hot wallet, not the cold wallet, but rather the hot wallet, was being emptied slowly over time. And somebody in the documentary made a really good analogy that if you made a small fist-sized hole in the back of a bank vault, and you could just reach your hand in the vault and take whatever was around that your hand could get and take it out every day, and eventually the bank would go bankrupt because you're taking $50-$100 every day, and eventually they're going to notice this big massive amount missing over a couple of years time. And that's sort of what happened to Mt. Gox, and that's sort of what I believe. It was pretty compelling. So with that, Karpelès avoids the demands of prosecutors who had sought a 10-year custodial sentence after claiming he had used the embezzled cash to fund a luxury lifestyle. The charge of electronic tampering is true and deserves punishment, but there's no criminal evidence of embezzlement at all. So that's sort of interesting how that's all happened. So there's no excuse for the defendant, who is an engineer with expert knowledge, to abuse his status. So Mt. Gox collapsed in early 2014. It lost 850,000 Bitcoin to malicious parties, of which some were later recovered. And the ex-CEO has consistently protested his innocence. Meanwhile, the procedure selling off Bitcoin funds to repay users have caused controversy of his own. So he's basically receiving a suspended sentence, and it might be just an acquittal overall, that he's unlikely to serve jail time. So there's that. And the whole Mt. Gox, when everybody's going to get paid back, who knows? So another interesting news that Jeff Garzik is subpoenaed in Kleiman Bitcoin lawsuit against Craig Wright. So well-known Bitcoin developer Jeff Garzik revealed he was subpoenaed by the U.S. Court of Southern Florida which is the same court that is doing the Kleiman family versus Craig Wright over a ton of Bitcoin. The Kleiman family is suing the self-proclaimed Satoshi for roughly 300,000 BTC, and Garzik has been served by the court and asked to submit assorted documents. So the Kleiman estate and Dave Kleiman's brother Ira Kleiman believe Craig Wright defrauded David and manipulated his assets. Some believe that that David Kleiman may have been the creator of Bitcoin, and the estate thinks he is owed about 300,000 or 1.1 billion from a trust that allegedly has 1 million BTC locked until the year 2020, the Bitcoin Tulip Trust. So whether you think that Dave Kleiman is or not, there is a court going on about that. News recently reported on Wright's response to the billion-dollar lawsuit after Judge Beth Bloom denied his attempt at dismissing the charges. So the subpoena who also asked for any communications between Garzik and Wright, and whether he had any direct communications with Kleiman. So the plaintiff counsel is in search of any documents that stem from David Kleiman, W&K Info Defense, and any communications with an individual called Ewan and Guin. The request also asks for any communications between Garzik and the pseudonym or moniker Satoshi Nakamoto, and any evidence that is tied to the Tulip Trust. The subpoena also refers to this search for subjects like early Bitcoin mining between January 1st, 2009 and through April 2013. So Wright and his counsel denied the allegations against him. It said the oral partnership between Wright and Kleiman was barred by the statute of frauds. There was no written partnership agreement between Wright and Kleiman. And meanwhile, Wright has been telling the public throughout many published tweets and memoirs how he was involved with the creation of Bitcoin. So basically, Jeff Garzik is subpoenaed to give up any of his documents that he ever talked about with Satoshi Nakamoto. So that's going to be interesting. So this court case is going to have some really interesting things in it, and it's supposed to be set into like July or June or July or something like that. So it's going to be in a couple months now, and of course I'll be following up on that. Another thing is that they want the any kind of documents about early Bitcoin mining from January 1st, 2009, which is about the time that Bitcoin started. I think it was actually January 3rd is when Bitcoin was officially released and started mining the very first Genesis block. In April 2013. So any communications with Satoshi Nakamoto and anything about the Bitcoin Tulip Trust and anything with mining on the very first day, essentially, until 2013. So quite interesting what may come of that. So moving on, Ethereum's ProgPow mining change approved again, but the timeline's unclear. So said Greg Colvin during a heated debate during an Ethereum developer called Call Friday over a proposed change to the network's mining algorithm known as progressive proof of work, a change that would impact the estimated 655 million annual market for Ethereum's mining rewards. ProgPow is aimed at reducing the efficiencies of specialized mining services called ASICs. Devices and maximizing the performance of general purpose hardware called GPUs. So some believe optimizing the network for GPUs will enable more Ethereum users to compete for new cryptocurrency awarded by the protocol, while others believe large mining firms are likely to push out such individuals regardless of what types of chips are capable of conducting the computing requirements, which may or may not be true there. Either way, large firms, large farms, etc. are going to sort of knock out anybody with just one GPU sort of thing. But at least getting the ASICs off will take a lot of that hash rate, which isn't said to be too much. I don't really even know what it's allegedly is in terms of the proportionality of all the hash rate on Ethereum, but at least knocking it out will allow for GPU miners to make more. There's a lot of controversy around ProgPow, but it is still on its way. But so far, not too much has come from it. Now, there's a lot of videos on YouTube of people doing the test net of ProgPow. And when you're on ProgPow, your GPUs and everything mine much slower, or at least the hash rate is much slower. Instead of 35 terahash or 35 megahash for a 1080 Ti, it's on not overclocked or anything like that. It's more like and no pill. It's more like 5 or 10 sort of thing. It's really knocked down quite a margin. But with the ASICs off, it will produce quite a bit more profit for those people. Now moving on to CoinMarketCap here. 138 billion market cap. We are over 4,000, but we are currently dipping, which is not particularly surprising, as we did go up very, very quickly. And this has been a thing for about a year now. We go up to 4,100, 4,200, somewhere over 4,000, and then it dips back to 3,800, 3,600, that sort of thing. But everything is looking red at the moment. But just like yesterday, everything was green, and it's just more pumps back up to a high, and then just dips right back down. So an interesting thing I kind of wanted to show you guys. Now, I'm not a big fan of TA, mind you, at all. I don't really claim to be amazing at TA. I do day trade, but just in simple manners. And I'm not too big of a fan of of not day trading, but of TA in crypto, because it's not really backed by anything like stocks are. You can do a lot more TA on stocks, and plus the stock market world is much larger than the crypto world, and they all sort of follow the same rules. So when it goes down by a certain amount, everybody kind of knows, everybody kind of uses the same tools in order to evaluate the stock market. But whereas crypto, we can all of a sudden see a huge increase because of a whale and a huge decrease because of a whale. Or good news or bad news comes out. China bans cryptocurrency exchanges, goes from 5,000 to 3,200 in a day, basically. So, there are a lot of things that just wildly throw crypto for a loop. And believing everything that a TA says is just, I think this is just a little silly in my opinion. But everybody has their own thing. And I know somebody's going to be just absolutely heated because of those comments, and they'll be in the comments below, I'm sure. But one of my favorite indicators for just for a quick reference of TA, I guess I don't even like to call it TA, but one of my favorite indicators is the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. And so if you can go onto like TradingView, do like Coinbase BTC to USD, and see exactly how it works. So the baseline is 70. And whenever it goes over that, you can kind of see quite a bit of a correlation here. So it's at the top here, and when it's at the top, it's going to dip. The higher it is, the more likely it's going to dip. As you can see, right at the top here, start a dip and the price goes down. And then even when it's at the bottom, now this is the bottom of the price. As you can see, it's correlated to the bottom of the price. And whenever it starts going up, look at that, the price starts going up. And it gets up to the max here, and it starts dipping pretty quick. Now, mind you, you're not going to see the RSI, like exactly, right? Because you're still not going to know what's ahead. But you can see that there's quite the correlation. Now the RSI is going down, and the price is going down. Starts going up just a little bit, starts going up just a little bit. But so if you're a patient trader, RSI is actually pretty good. And you can see many examples of that. See at the top here, and also many examples of when it's not necessarily at the top either. So like you might think, oh, that's at the top, but it really wasn't. There was a small dip right there, and then it rose to the top. But so if you guys just want to take a look at that and see what you think about it and the correlation, you could do this with just about any coin on like TradingView or these TA websites. And Relative Strength Index is just easily one of my favorite ones. You can see, like, if you see the price all the way up here and you sell, usually you're always good when the price is all the way up like this and you sell. Because if you sold like right now, you might think, well, it could go higher, but no, it doesn't. It's like whenever it's over the 70 margin like that. And you can see it pretty clearly. And when it goes down to like below the 30 level, it's usually going to go back up. And it's not always the case. Again, there's nothing perfect about anything like this. Never is. But this is something that you should just always keep handy. Like if you have Coinbase open and you're just sitting there day trading, make sure you have an RSI open, because if you see it like spike through the roof like that, it's probably time to sell. And turns out in a couple hours, you'll probably be thankful for that because it'll be down. It's almost always the case. But again, not always the case. So just wanted to share that with you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps me out a lot. My social media in the description below. But hope you guys enjoyed it. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.